Are you ready to vibe? You're listening to Creepy Vibes Only. Hello.
Hello. Steph and I are laughing because I had literally had a mouthful of water.
I surprised her this time.
I was not paying attention.
My turn.
Guess who's back in the house? Have you been watching Drag Race UK versus the World?
No.
I refuse to watch it because I found out who goes home first, and I'm just not okay with it.
It's Lemon, right?
Spoilers.
Well, I think there's been a few eliminations by now.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was too.
Sorry.
I refuse. I love Lemon, so I was like, wow, I guess I'm not watching it. Fine.
I've tried to watch it, but I can't find it, so I gave up.
It's on Crave?
I don't have Crave.
Wow. Wow presents Plus. Well, that's too bad for you.
Yeah.
I have it. I'm not watching it, so we're in opposite issues. How are you guys doing? Have you had a great week? It's been great here in Ottawa. Everything's fine.
It's still fun.
It's so good. It's not stressful.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Steph. I'm tired of living through history.
Yeah.
I'm really like I would really like some of those precedented times.
Just like give us a few boring years. Yeah, that's all we need.
Millennials?
Just like give us 10.
We've had enough trauma. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I can't even think of anything like exciting or fun to tell you. Like everything is happening and nothing is happening very simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, is there anything keeping you up at night?
There are
aside from
the people downtown. They're really fun, non-terrifying people downtown. Survivor. I've been watching a ton of Survivor.
Yes, we know.
Because it makes me feel like a survivor. No matter how bad things get in Ottawa, at least I'm like, wow.
I was like watching TV, there's an ad of Survivor. And I don't know if this season, but this girl was like walking around with hoop earrings. I'm like,
yeah.
Would you not have like left those at home?
So I noticed this too when I was at the tribal council. Like there's people with like dangly earrings on and stuff, or like nose rings, and I'm like, that's an infection.
Yeah.
Like I guess you're gone for a month and you don't want your piercing to be closed, but why not just get like a little stud and just stick it in? Like,
because I feel like you're in the jungle, could get caught on something,
and people do like get like cut from the competition because they get infections.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I guess I'm not winning that $1 million.
Plus you're doing like physical stuff where normally you would take it off. I don't know. I just found it was weird from the one commercial I saw. Yeah. The like 5 seconds. That's my judgment. I passed on.
Like I would get, like little gold balls.
Yeah.
I would just do that, or stainless steel, because like stainless steel is not going to get infected. I don't think. I'm not a scientist. Don't quote me.
Yeah. We both know I'm not.
Anyways, I would get something that's not likely to hold bacteria, and I would get like a round surface because that's less likely to catch something, I think, or a flat one. I don't know. I'm not, again, not a scientist.
Yeah.
Or I would just get it re-pierced if it's my ears, because like who cares? It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
I don't know. No, I think what's throwing us off right now
is
that we're recording in the same room.
Yeah. I hate having to look at stuff and not my phone when I talk to her. It's really unsettling.
So you've finally been able to cross borders.
Yeah.
We're together again.
Somehow.
So I think that's what's throwing us off.
And we're like, oh God,
you're here? Gross.
In this house? In this economy? Jesus.
So I think that's what's happening. That's why we're weird.
Apart from being in your home, what's keeping you up at night?
So I started watching. By start I mean like yesterday, and it's kept me up like last night. Right. Started watching that show I was telling you about, The Bonfire of Destiny.
Yeah.
It is so fucking good.
Is it? And you said it was scary?
It's not scary. Like it's based on, the French name of it is Le Bazar de la Charité, and it's a French series.
Okay.
But it on Netflix you can watch it in English. And it's based on this true event where there's like this a bazaar. Like remember the time we went to this like
the bazaar?
Yeah, that's what's called in English?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like people in France went there, and then there's something that happened and the building burnt down.
Okay.
And there's 120 women who died and
This happened
100
in real life, didn't it?
Yeah, real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
So it's based off of that. And then they're kind of investigating for like why was it only women even if men were present. But the first episode is like them in the bazaar with everything catching on fire.
That's stressful.
And like you can see like from the point of view with like the fire on the ceiling and like people catching
like the 1800s. No, more recent than that.
Yeah, a bit more. I feel like 19. No. Where's my phone? I'll Google it.
This is the kind of research you get with this show. Real-time answers, because Steph and I need to know. My other non-sleeping thing, I have been playing Pokemon Arceus, and I really like it.
Pokemon what?
The new Pokemon game. It's like Pokemon Breath of the Wild. It's great. I just sneak around in bushes and throw balls of Pokemon, and I'm like, yeah!
So it started in 1885. When 1897 was the fire.
Okay. Yeah.
So he claimed 126 lives, many of which were noble aristocratic women, children.
I think there's a movie about this too.
Oh, for sure.
Because I feel like I've watched some sort of media
about it.
To this.
So this is like a mini series about like 3 women in particular, how like the fire affects them in a way. But just like seeing that first scene, like I got goosies just watching like how they've done it. And then when I was like out, of course, I dreamt that I was in the fire, and I was like,
oh, good. Nice and toasty.
So that's what's keeping me up at night.
Jesus, that's haunting.
But it was very good. I highly recommend it to people. It's on Netflix.
On Netflix, not a sponsor. Netflix, why aren't you sponsoring us?
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
Hello.
We're so famous.
Super famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 38 followers on Twitter. Hello.
Wow. Hey, everybody. So famous.
We're very close to that blue check mark.
That's right. Verify.
Seconds away.
Hashtag public figures. Good grief. All right. Who starts this time?
It's my turn.
Excellent.
So, you ready for round 3 of Choose Your Own Adventure?
I choose number 5.
No. So you have options 2 to 4.
1.
You're such a shit. Okay, speaking
4.
of her being a shit.
Oh, good.
Whoever listens on Spotify, there is a question for like for certain episodes we put in a little poll. Can someone please go and answer the last poll? Because someone decided to. So I did the editing of the last one, and usually Emma does it. And I was like, let me try.
It's like one contribution.
And you do a great job.
Thank you. I don't know if that's true.
Yes. So I decided to do the last 2 just to like give it a good try. And I put in a poll and didn't tell her on purpose. And I didn't think that she would go and check, but she went. And I got an email from on Gmail saying like, oh, you have answers to your poll, whatever. And I got really excited, and it was fucking Emma. And the question was like, which cult do you want us to deep dive on? And she answered geese.
Geese?
Milo's here.
We need answers. Geese have gone too far. Hey, Milo, what's up, buddy? They're, as one noble man described them, cobra chickens. And we need to get to the bottom of this, Nancy Grace style.
So if someone can go and just at least like give me one answer. It could be a dumb answer. I don't just give me something.
Everyone can go and write the answer geese. That would be great.
Because she keeps trolling me, so I need assistance.
My life's purpose is to terrorize stuff. AKA Steve.
And just help Milo get on the bed.
Hey Milo, what's up, buddy? Come hang. That water bottle is not for you.
He's gotta try to eat it.
Yeah. Milo, you are the cobra chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy. It's also really gassy today.
He is.
Stinky boy.
A stinky Milo.
A stinky minky. Wow. Lewis is not here. Sorry, Lewis. Sorry.
So, story 4. So we'll give you your creepy fact.
Okay.
Oh, it's about the French Revolution. We're on theme.
Yeah.
So during the French Revolution, where the guillotine?
My name is Robespierre, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
What?
Robespierre? He was a key member in the revolution.
Oh, okay.
I think. He was involved somehow.
Oh. Clearly, I paid attention. Starting again. Wow. During the French Revolution, where the guillotine was introduced, the people to be executed fought to be first, as the blade would dull after multiple uses and wouldn't cut a head clean off at the first attempt.
Yeah, no, that's fucking horrifying.
Disgusting.
I did know that. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
Oh, okay, I remember this story. This is a fun one. All right. So, I have a restaurant suggestion for you for your next trip down east.
East where?
Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
So we had seafood for dinner last night.
Nice.
And we were talking about eating on the East Coast. So this is
I have the spot for you.
Perfect.
So it is called the Five Fishermen Restaurant.
Chowder.
So it is in Halifax, Nova Scotia, near the Halifax Harbor. So the building itself is a 4-story brick and wood building that was built in the 1818.
Nice.
Is he annoying you? Okay.
He's just licking the air.
Milo, stop leaking. It's located in front of the St. Paul's Anglican Church, which is actually the oldest building in Halifax. It was built in 1750, and is also the oldest existing Anglican place of worship in Canada.
Oh, well, Halifax was a pretty early place. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through kind of like the history of the building, and then some noteworthy events, and then the reason why we're talking about the restaurant.
Okay, I'm curious.
Here we go. So when the building was first built, it was built as a schoolhouse. Okay. And it was a school focused on giving education to the poor, and also focused, obviously, religious obligation being,
love Jesus,
right there.
Also math. Cool.
And it was the first school in Canada to offer free education.
Oh, love that.
So for that reason, the school received the distinction of being the first national school, and then the building itself became a heritage site because of that.
Yeah, makes sense.
About 30 years, so it was a school for 30 years, but then a point where it couldn't accommodate that many people anymore. So the school moved to Dalhousie College, and then for a certain time period, the building itself became the Halifax Victorian School of Art. And it was founded by Anna Leonowens. So I tried to do a deep dive into her. One day we may, because she...
Okay.
There's a lot of twists and turns.
And it's a complicated lady.
So like she claims to have been some type of royalty, and she was like super famous and all of that, but then there's other articles who said that she lied. So... Okay.
Gossip girl, love that.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but she was like, when she founded the school, it was like, oh my god, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But we may talk about her another time.
We'll talk about Anna. No.
So in 1883, the building was sold to John Snow, who is the owner of
John Snow.
No, legit not Snow, but not that John Snow.
The king in the north. Okay,
so the king of the north, he is the owner of Snow and Company Funeral Home.
Oh, with the White Walkers, sick.
Yeah.
What?
And the building was a mortuary for about 90 years, and then in 1973 it finally became the Five Fishermen Restaurant.
Did you think that he was a serial killer because he was a mortician owner?
Of course.
Okay. Cool. He didn't own morticians, he owned mortuary business.
Yeah. So that's so it was a school, it was a art thingy, then it was a funeral home, and now a restaurant.
Wow. It has truly gone through it.
Yeah. So while the building was a mortuary, it went through 2 very tragic events.
Wow.
First one. On April 5th, 1912, in the morning hours, rescue operations were sent from Halifax Harbor to rescue the victims of the RMS Titanic that had hit an iceberg 350 miles off the coast of Newfoundland.
The Titanic sank?
You didn't know?
No.
Oh shit! Spoiler!
Sad.
Spoiler!
Where's the
So firstly, most of the victims were brought to temporary mortuary, either at the Mayflower curling rink or to the Snow and Company funeral home. Specifically, the wealthier victims were brought to that funeral home to be given the proper arrangements.
Yes, because the rich do deserve it more.
I know.
That's how that works.
They have such a hard life.
Not rich people.
And specifically at the mortuary, Charles M. Hayes, who was the president of the Grand Trunk Railway, and John Jacob Astor the Fourth was the wealthiest man on the ship. Specifically, they were there.
What were you saying? I heard John Jacob. I think Jingleheimer Schmidt.
So that's tragedy number 1.
Yeah, that's a humdinger. Okay, Titanic lit.
Tragedy number 2. Tragedy.
What's the Halifax explosion? What was that before?
December 6, 1967. Known as one of the world's greatest catastrophes of the time, the Halifax explosion.
Called it.
2 points for Emma.
So she didn't cheer because that was fucking horrible.
Yeah. So the tragedy took 1,782 lives and injured 9,000 people.
But one guy saved a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. He stayed behind to send out the alarm or something. It's on the Canada Heritage Minutes. It was really sad.
Mm-hmm. In my research, I focused on what happened and not,
Anyways, I'm glad I derailed us.
No, at least we know someone did something good.
Feeling really good. I can't remember. I was 6 when that was airing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, what basically happened? So, the SS Mont Blanc, a French cargo ship, crashed into the Norwegian vessel SS Imo. The Mont Blanc was heavily loaded with high explosives. So once they crashed, a fire started on the Mont Blanc, which led to a massive explosion, which obliterated the Richmond district in Halifax. So full neighborhood, boom, gone.
Yikes.
And rows and rows and rows and rows of coffins were lined against the exterior of the Snow and Company funeral home, since they were overrun with bodies. And from a picture, there's rows of 3 rows, one on top of each other, of caskets.
Yeah.
It's insane. The funeral home held about 2,000 services, which came to about 30 to 40 funerals per day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That was just the John Snow funeral home. There's all of the other ones.
Cool, John.
Yeah. So, why do you think we're here today talking about?
It's haunted as shit.
It is. So given all the history, it's not surprising to find out that it's not just the living that really like this restaurant.
Clearly, it's been through
it. People that have passed away love the food and ambiance of it. So
crab rolls.
So guests and staff has seen glasses flying off of the bar shelves. They've seen cutlery rearranging itself, and so they've seen some people claim that they've seen it rearrange itself on the table and then being shoved off on its own.
It's like a cat, just meow.
Fuck. Taps in the bathroom and the kitchen have the habit of turning it on their own. What else have people seen? People have seen people dressed in Victorian clothes come into the restaurant, then just boom, vanish.
Not cosplayers or magicians.
No.
Ghosts.
No.
Lit.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cold spots on warm days randomly appear, and then people
under the air conditioning vent.
And then people often report the feeling of something passing through them,
like a fart.
No, someone walking through you.
I'm just being shitty. Yeah.
Okay. And disembodied voices are a common occurrence. Waiters will hear someone scream out their names if there's no one around, or whispers are heard. And then specifically, I've so on the actual website of the restaurant, they have a list of what their servers have seen and their stories. So we have a few.
Oh.
So during a busy night, a waiter was trying to process a payment on a credit card machine, and as he was dealing with the alive client, someone behind him tapped on his shoulder. So he didn't acknowledge the tap at first because he was processing. He was like, I'll deal with it after. Whoever was tapping taps again.
Rude.
He immediately turns around saying, what? But no one was there. Story 1.
Ookie spooky Marmaduke.
Story 2. Another waiter was closing up the restaurant and he was the only one in the building. As he was shutting off the lights near the salad bar, he heard the swinging doors to the kitchen open.
Okay.
So he turned to see them, and he just kind of saw them like flapping. So then he rushed into the kitchen because no one's supposed to be there, and there's no one in the kitchen. So he did a full sweep of the building. No one there.
Ew.
Yes.
Gross.
Another one even grosser.
Grosser.
A gray fog-like apparition has scared a few members of the Five Fishermen staff.
Oh, good.
So one time, a waitress, she was closing up. She was cleaning the restaurant, and then she could hear some like tapping from behind her. She turned around, kind of figure out where the tapping from, but she couldn't really like pinpoint it. It kept like switching different areas. And then at one point she realized the tapping came from outside the window, which is strange because the restaurant is on the second story of the building.
You could throw rocks.
So since the tapping and going, she decided to go and look at it. And as she walked towards the window, this gray fog-like apparition kind of like showed up. And then as she was like looking at it, it vanished.
Fucking fog ghosts.
I know. So they're like, just to confuse her even more. Another time, a waitress, she was walking towards the grand staircase and started going up them. But then when she looked up, she saw that gray fog coming down towards her. So she got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I would love
that. Another story. So the restaurant has a private room with only one entrance into it. Very popular with the living, especially popular with the ghosts.
Fun.
They love it. So during closing, a waiter heard two people argue in the private room. Again, closing, shouldn't be anyone in there.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
So as he got closer to tell the people to leave, the voices stopped, and then when he got into the room, no one was in there.
Ninjas. Goddamn ghosts.
They're like in the ceiling. Just waiting.
Tom Cruise like hanging. Not by his neck, obviously. Like, just like the way he does Mission Impossible.
It's Spider-Man.
If you haven't seen
That's
it,
who it was.
Spider-Man.
Another night, a waitress was closing the place and saw someone walk into the room. And she like was like, oh good, like I didn't lock up the last customer. So she runs after him to be like, hey, gotta go. But there was no one in there.
Okay.
And I have 3 more stories, 3 more accounts. So another one, this was during opening shift. Waiter again was setting up the salad bar, but he like needed to make multiple trips between the kitchen and the salad bar. So while he dropped something off at the salad bar, went back into the kitchen, and then he heard this large crash. So he went to investigate and saw a large ashtray that was on the bar had fallen off. So he bends down and picks it up, and then when he looks up, there's obviously the bar, there's like the mirrors behind the shelves, right? So he looks up to put the ashtray onto the bar, looks into the mirror, and then in the reflection, he sees a tall, older gentleman walking away from him. This shocked him because he was alone. But he was able to see enough detail. So like he had long gray hair, was wearing old period clothes. So he immediately turned around.
Was it Santa?
Why are you here?
Père Noël?
So he immediately turned around, tell the guy to like get out, but there's no one there. So then he looked back again to the mirror to see if maybe like it was a fluke, but man had completely disappeared. But that wasn't the only time that man was seen.
Oh, Père Noël.
Père Noël loves the Five Fishermen.
Yeah, he's hella there for you. Like those fucking lobster rolls in the chowder are lit.
Top notch. So the same man was spotted by a manager one afternoon before opening up. While he was on the phone, he saw the man standing at the landing of the stairs. He told the man, like, I'll be with you in a moment. When he was done, he went to the landing, but the guy had disappeared. So he, like, looked around the building and then even went to check downstairs because he thought he had left, but the doors are still locked.
Oh.
So, don't know. And then our last story, a hostess was seating a couple and explained the salad bar offerings. As she was talking, she felt something brush up against her cheek. And then I guess when she explained, she felt that finger against her cheek, went to seat them, and then the guest was like, hey, what happened to your face? And she had this large red mark on her cheek as if she got slapped.
Oh.
So that is the story of the 5 fishermen.
Oh.
So it's a very active location, which is not surprising with its history. The hauntings, they don't seem malicious. They're only mischievous, trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
And like one interesting thing is that most of the activity seems to be happening either on like opening or closing shifts.
Yeah, well, they don't like crowds.
Yeah.
But the greatest mystery of all, Steph.
What?
Who are the 5 fishermen?
That's going to be for part 2. No.
Stay tuned to find out.
More to come.
Psych.
So that's my spooky story. So the East is really haunted.
I love it.
What we've seen so far. But yeah.
I like it. The East Coast is the most with the ghosts. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay. No.
For the trilogy.
Uh-oh.
Round 3.
Hey.
Cults I would like to not join the most.
Let's go.
Reasons 87 through 900 why I will be staying at home. Regardless of the pandemic.
That's what this podcast is about. We're trying to convince you, stay home.
Just be an introvert.
Yeah, it's safer.
Don't make friends.
No.
And if someone's trying to recruit you, they're either in an MLM or a cult. There is no in between. 2 options. Yeah, that's it. You can't just see someone being friendly.
No, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, you're either going to get into debt or you're going to get dead. The 2 Ds. Don't do it.
Here we go.
Okay. So the next cult I'm going to tell you about, Steve.
Okay.
Is Heaven's Gate.
I heard of it. I'm not familiar with it, but I heard of like the name.
And again, like I'm covering these in like broad strokes. Like each one of these could really be its own episode, but my attention span is what it is.
It's a little appetizer for what may come.
Yeah. I'm not committing either way. You'll get what you'll get. This is free.
Once you pay us, you can request shit.
I just want people to listen to me talk about nothing.
Because we're so nice to you.
Yeah. Blink twice if you need help. We can't see anyways. Jeez. Okay. So Heaven's Gate. They thought God was an alien.
Oh.
So your people. So in the early 70s, Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, they went on a road trip across America and they found a people that they dubbed the Crew.
Oh.
Were they teenagers in high school? Because that's actually what my friends in high school and I called each other.
Yeah.
Oh no, we were the super posse, not the Crew.
That's really horrible.
Shout out to my high school friends. They were nice kids. And shout out to Insider, because this is where I'm getting this list of cults from.
Okay.
We went from Cosmopolitan last week, Insider this week, we're all over the place.
Some variety.
Yeah, listen. Broad sources. That way you don't get all your information from one site. That's how you get brainwashed. So Applewhite was a cult leader. So he would have ticked off and did tick off many of those fucking warning boxes that we went through.
2 episodes ago if you need to refer.
Yeah. That episode is really key for understanding this. It's not. So yeah, he was the second coming of Jesus Christ. He was like, Je suis le Messiah.
Of course.
Sup. Also, the world was going to end pretty imminently.
Every year.
Yeah, we go through a lot of apocalypses.
Yes.
Y2K. 2012.
What's happening now?
Yeah. Like at this point, like fucking like, whatever. Rapture me. I'm down. Also, God's an alien.
Yeah.
So here's how you worship.
Okay.
God. E.T. the Father, the Son.
Take me home. What does it say?
E.T. found home. Yeah. E.T. the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. So the way that you worship is you give away all your money.
Of course.
Obviously to him.
You don't need it.
Or to whoever. I don't know. It doesn't say. Maybe it does later. Also, you don't talk to your families anymore. Which we talked about. That's a warning sign.
Yeah.
They were also put on a master cleanse diet.
That sucks. As we have like a bag of candy next to us. It's full.
Full of sugary goodness. So their diet included lemonade, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup.
Gross. Which,
okay, what's interesting in that is I've literally heard of that as a cleanse. I don't do cleanses because that's a form of disordered eating. Don't do that. But the reason they did that is they wanted to get rid of sexual thoughts. And in that group, because, I mean, you're not thinking about jerking it if you're that hungry, I guess. I don't know.
Just like what will get the thoughts away? Lemonade, cayenne pepper.
You won't be thirsty. Also, 8 men volunteered to be surgically castrated. Steph and I were just like looking at it like, okay. So in 1997, 39 people within the group put on the same outfit, and their outfit was all dark and with Nike shoes.
Oh, stylish. That's how I dress all the time.
I know. I was like the black Nikes with the white soles. Everyone owns those shoes. And they drank vodka because
fun times.
And they ate applesauce and pudding, and in the pudding was barbiturates, and put plastic bags over their heads to suffocate themselves.
Holy fucking shit! That went from like, whoo.
Yep. So they died in a line of bodies, and each body was covered in purple fabric, and it was one of the largest mass suicides in the history of the U.S.
Oh, that's so sad.
Good times.
I don't know.
Anyways, next one. These are all awful. Don't join cults.
No. Not MLMs. Even for their fashion.
Or MLMs.
Yeah.
Cult Junior.
Yeah.
They just take your money.
One time, what is it? There's like one person, I was working at the mall, and these like 2 girls from like in the MLM, while I'm working, they're like, hi, do you want to sell this? I'm like, I'm on my fucking shift. Are you buying the shirt or not?
Oh my God. 100%.
You're the worst.
I went to the wedding. Were you there for that when we went to the wedding show and this girl tried to get us to start selling lip scents?
Yes.
That was so weird.
I know.
I was like, ma'am.
She was smart. She probably got so many people.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just wanted the conversation to end, so I bought one. And I was like, thank you. I'm going to throw this out promptly because it is not good. No, not good. No. Anyways. Okay.
You're not one to talk. You got us into freaking Mexico. It almost got us into like an timeshare thingy. The guy was like giving us.
Oh my God. I just was being polite and I don't know how to end the conversation.
She almost got us sucked into it.
No, I would not have attended. You don't go to the meeting.
We're like on day 4 and still like, hey, are you coming? You're like, sure.
Yeah, because then we would be like, pool, got them. And then we wouldn't show up. And he'd be like, fuck those guys. They suck. And then hopefully never talk to us again.
Yeah, he gave us a necklace. I still have it.
I don't know where mine is.
I'll give it to you. That's your Christmas present next year.
Sick. Thank you for the necklace. Okay.
Continue.
So, next cult. Shinrikyo was a Japanese cult.
Okay.
Led by Shoko Asahara. Mm-hmm. And they were founded in the 80s by Shoko.
Okay.
So he also was Christ.
There's a lot of them going around.
Yeah, everyone's Jesus.
They need to have
if someone claims to be Jesus, red flag.
They need to have a cult, all of them together. Problem solved.
Boom. So he eventually ended up having like 10,000 or tens of thousands of followers.
Holy shit.
He was
almost as popular as us.
Yeah, and this is pretty contemporary. So this was founded in the 80s, and it started off spiritual and like all like wholesome, and then took a really fucking sharp nosedive and became
surprising
more violent.
Oh.
Also they paid money to be vampires. And that they would drink Asahara's blood.
What?
As one does. Don't drink people's blood.
No, it's gross.
Like, you can get sick.
Drink lemonade.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
Not with cleansing. Like, just drink.
Just lemonade and vodka.
Stay hydrated. Be a hydro homie. And eat food. Food's not your enemy. Anyway.
So who did they pay to become vampires? I don't...
Pay him.
Oh, pay. Oh, okay.
So Asahara was like, Shoko Asahara was the leader of Shinrikyo.
Mm-hmm.
Did I have it? Yeah, Shinrikyo. And they were like, Jesus.
If I give you money.
We have to drink the blood of Christ.
Okay.
Like, kind of like the wine. Like,
one drinks at
church. So what was really great, on March 20th, 1925, members of the club, members of the cult left bags filled with a toxic nerve agent on 3 Tokyo trains during rush hour.
No.
And unfortunately, 13 people died and 5,800 were injured. And like the onset was like people would be choking and throwing up because your regions really fuck you up. And over a series of months, they tried, unfortunately failed to attack other subway stations with cyanide.
Why?
Because cults are fucked.
But like, what was their reasoning behind it?
They were like, you're not followers.
They weren't happy just being vampires in their own
No, they couldn't just vampire in peace. They had to do a mass murder. Horrible. So Asahara was sentenced to death along with 12 other members. And as of 2018, 7 have been executed, and the other 6 are sitting on death row in Japan.
That's horrible.
Yeah. The next is a group called the Branch Davidians, which is my favorite name, because what? And as an amuse-bouche, they had a 51-day standoff with the FBI.
Good for them.
No. So David, hence Davidians.
Yeah.
So David Koresh was the leader of this fun little troop.
Okay.
And he could talk to God.
Of course.
Like, straight line.
So do I.
Okay. Yeah, he had him on speed dial. And like so many others, he was like, the world is ending. The end is nigh.
But like, someone needs to come up with
the deluge is coming.
Like a new idea of like, we're all immortal now. Like, why does it always have to be the end?
Also, I don't think it's gonna work with like millennials, because like if you were like, millennials, the world's ending, we'd be like, we fucking know.
I'd be like, oh,
we are aware.
When?
Like,
we're tired.
Climate change, yes.
Like, someone needs to be like, the world is saved.
Yeah, like, I mean, as of us and Gen Z, it's just not, no one's gonna give a shit. Like,
okay, change it up a bit.
Thanks. No shit. I do watch the news. I am aware. Bye. You give me money? No. I pay taxes. It's going to the poor. It's not going to you fucking losers. Anyways, so he convinced, through however, over 100 people to move to a compound just outside of Waco, Texas. Or Waco. Waco, Texas. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I think it's Waco.
I think you're right. And on that compound, they would follow his teachings, which included his belief that men could have multiple wives, and you could apparently consensually marry a child that was 10. Yeah, which is not acceptable.
No.
I also like, kind of a sidebar, I hate people who are like engaging, if they're like, they engaged in sex with underage women. If it's an underage woman, it's a child.
Yeah.
It's raping a child.
Yeah.
That's not.
There's no engaging.
No,
of anything.
It's raping a kid.
Yeah.
They were raping kids, which is fucked. So in 1983, the FBI arrived at the compound because they were like, we need to fucking arrest this guy.
Yeah.
Because
he's the worst.
And it lasted 51 days.
Holy shit.
And they were quoted as saying, never before have so many heavily armed and totally committed individuals barricaded themselves in a fortified compound with indirect challenge to lawful federal warrants. It's cray.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, the standoff basically was resolved when the compound combusted into flames and 75 people died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Koresh was found with a gunshot wound to the head.
Fucking twat.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the fucking worst.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about someone else who's also the worst.
Okay.
So I'll do one last one for our amuse-bouche for today.
Okay.
So let's talk about Jim Jones.
I know of him. Like, the name is familiar.
You sure do. Because he founded the People's Temple.
Ah, yes. Him.
This is why we say don't drink the Kool-Aid. So in 1955, Jim Jones was like, fuck it, I'm starting a cult.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually what his thought was, but he was also
probably. This is only facts, guys.
So in the post-war era, he was like, oh my god, nuclear attacks are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta fucking get ready for the end times. So he founded the People's Temple in Indianapolis. And he thought that specific area was really going to get nuked into Kingdom Come. So he was like, okay, we're moving to Eureka, California, because California apparently is safer. California is on the coast. Anyways, clearly he's not the sharpest tool. In in 77, so he was like, I'm paranoid again. And by 77, like a lot of media attention had come to the cult. So he was like, hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So he moved the People's Temple to a settlement in Guyana, which was called Jonestown.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know where this is going.
Yes. I know I keep calling it Jamestown.
Jamestown? It's Jonestown, because Jim Jones.
I know, but I keep calling it for some reason. So I'm like, Jamestown, but I'm sorry.
Well, you're wrong. So there was a U.S. congressman named Leo Ryan who was like, I'm going to go visit because shit's going down there. And there were lots of reports that there was abuse of members. Poor Leo. Leo gets there and he was shot and killed by 4 members of the temple. Because, like, obviously they didn't want him meddling in their evil. Jones subsequently decided that his followers all needed to die because he had them drink it was actually flavored, it wasn't Kool-Aid, but he had them drink that drink with cyanide, and 900 people, over 900 people died. Horrible. And Jones, because he was a fucking
twat,
piece of shit coward, instead of dying that way with his members, and like obviously like don't die by suicide, like, seek help. In his unsigned suicide note, a member of the cult wrote, "If nobody understands, it matters not. I am ready to die now. Darkness settles over Jonestown on its last day on Earth." And those are cults, and you shouldn't join cults because it's fucked up.
I feel like we need to stop ending on such
horrifying
note.
Well, it's fucking creepy.
It is very creepy. Fascinating,
but
not
so happy.
Sad.
Don't join cults. Take this as warnings.
Yeah.
And reasons not to. And so ends my trilogy of cults. You're welcome, everyone.
Yay!
Tip your waitress. I will not be for a week. Or I will be, but hopefully the downtown culties won't be.
Yeah. Apparently they're leaving.
Apparently they're making fun of our Republicans. America, if you could keep your shit to yourselves.
We have no problems.
We'll keep our crazy, you keep your crazy. Christ,
We'll see.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Also, like, we're recording these in advance, so if by the time you hear this they've left, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We're actively living through history. And we are done with it.
So just in case. Oh, you just
sorry. I just scared the dog with my horror. I was like, what is happening? Okay, well, I love you guys. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Hey, it's Dean and Red, and we're the host of Essentially on the Rocks, a podcast built for after the 9 to 5.
Yes, when being professional is no longer required.
Come hang out with us. We drink whiskey, craft beer, talk shit, and laugh.
We mostly talk shit to each other's face.
And you did drink that wine I got you pretty fucking fast.
I accept this, but don't act like you don't get smashed on $2 moonshine.
We don't talk about that. Join us on Essentially on the Rocks.
New episodes released monthly.
Thank you for listening to Creepy Vibes Only. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Creepy Vibes Only Podcast. And you can send us an email at cvopodcast@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen, download our episodes, and please leave us a review, ideally a really nice one. Thanks for vibing and keeping it creepy with us. We will see you next week. Bye!